There's plenty of ways to acquire and grow your wealth. Savvy investing, or just good old hard work, are two respectable and standard ways to make a living. But there is another way. An ever-elusive way that only comes to a very, very lucky few. A lucky few that become instant multi-millionaires thanks to the lottery. Lottery winners can choose to receive the money in either an annuity, annual allotments over 30 years, or to get it all at once in a single payment for a little bit of a smaller amount. For example, the lump sum on a $1.6 billion jackpot would be around $905 million, according to the lottery site usamega.com. If a single winner takes the single payment, the federal tax withholding would be over $217 million. Then there can be state taxes too. But in almost every case, the lump sum is chosen over the annuity. Sometimes because the winner isn't certain they'll be alive for the next 30 years. But usually it's because the individual cannot resist that massive pile of cash instantly transferred to their bank account. Still, winning hundreds of millions of dollars in exchange for a $2 lottery ticket is not too shabby. So, here are the biggest lottery winners of all time. And when I can, I'll try to give you the scoop on what the winners are up to with their newfound wealth. But seemingly more often than not, the winners do a good job of keeping it to themselves. Number 1. $1.586 billion. The Powerball. There are 3 winning tickets for history's biggest prize. The biggest lottery to ever exist, which was drawn on January 13th, 2016. John and Lisa Robinson in Tennessee, Maureen Smith and David Goldschmidt in Florida, and Marvin and May Acosta in California all had the option of roughly $533 million before taxes as an annuity, or $327.8 million as the lump sum payment. The Robinsons' winning ticket was one of 4 they bought at a grocery store. The couple opted to take the lump sum rather than the annuity. "We're not guaranteed tomorrow," says John. Despite their newfound wealth, the couple planned to keep their modest Munford, Tennessee home. The main reason they gave was that the bigger the house, the more you have to clean. Lisa, meanwhile, said that she wanted to continue working. But eventually, it would seem they gave in. 2 years after their big win, the Robinsons now live in a $6.2 million 10-bedroom home, sitting on a 320-acre lot. Their luxury home comes with a private lake and some of the best views of Tennessee. More than that, it has 8 bathrooms and even a well-equipped home theater. Yes, such a modest home. Lisa went back to work the day after they won, but her co-workers seemed to have a problem with her newfound wealth and did not treat her very well. She would soon quit her job, and since then, the Robinsons have kept to themselves and ask for privacy. I, for one, don't blame them, or any of the winners that choose to remain anonymous. "Mo money, mo problems" is still the most relevant quote for this YouTube channel. In Florida, Smith and Goldschmidt also picked the lump sum. At the time, they planned to get massages, upgrade their truck, and retire with the newfound wealth, according to NBC. Unlike the Robinsons, Maureen Smith and David Goldschmidt have continued living a modest lifestyle after their Powerball win, save for a $90,000 Tesla and a new SUV. The couple haven't splurged as much as some of us would have done by now. Go ahead, be honest. In the comment section below, let us know what you would do if you won the lottery. The couple still happily lives in their $300,000 home. They also go about their daily routine as if nothing big had even happened. In fact, despite winning a lump sum of $327.8 million before taxes, they still play the lottery weekly. I wouldn't blame them. The Acostas remained anonymous for months after winning, but released a statement saying they were thankful for the rare gift that has been placed in our care. In fact, the couple laid so low that they didn't even claim their prize until 6 months after their winning number was drawn. The couple did express wishes of starting a charity, and did so in the public eye. But once this news came out, so did the scammers. people began receiving obvious scam letters claiming to be from the Acostas. There was even a website called ACOSTAFOUNDATION that ripped off the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation website. In the wake of all the scams, the Acostas have hidden their charitable acts from the public. Number 2. $758.7 million. The Powerball. Mavis L. Wanchek of Chicopee, Massachusetts, claimed the winning ticket for the $758.7 million Powerball jackpot in August of 2017. Shortly after, she called up her employer at Mercy Medical Center, where she had worked for 32 years, and quit. "I've called them and told them I will not be coming back," she told NBC. She decided to take the lump sum for the prize, accepting $480.5 million before taxes. After taxes, she was left with a smooth $336 million. Just after the win, Mavis said that she'd rather be alone, hiding in her bed, and think about what she wanted to do next. And judging by the lack of any news about her, it looks like she stayed true to that wish. And despite a couple of inevitable scams attached to her name, no news of her has surfaced. Number 3. $656 million. The Mega Millions. In March 2012, Mega Millions also had 3 winning tickets. Illinois winner Merle and Patricia Butler claimed $218.6 million of the winnings. The Butlers took their winnings home as a $157.8 million lump sum, and they haven't been in the public eye since. Out of the 3 winners, the Butlers were the only ones to come out publicly. The other winners were a group who called themselves the Three Amigos, and all that's known of them is that they were school employees. I like to think the 3 were teachers who threw one amazing party for their students right before quitting their jobs. Could you imagine the Cheetos and pudding pops? And as for the 3rd winner, well, no one knows. Like the Acostas, Merle and Patricia Butler consulted legal and financial advisors before claiming their prize. If their absence from the spotlight is any sign, they seem to be following their legal team's advice. If someone who wins the lottery ends up in the news in the first place, more often than not, it's because they did something wrong. The Butlers' names were attached to various scams, just like most of the winners who decided to put their name out there. This school workers' ticket was drawn in Maryland, and Maryland is one of the states that happens to allow for anonymous winners. But that luxury is not shared across all states, strangely enough. The 3rd winner was from Kansas, a state that shares the same rule with Maryland. Number 4. $648 million. The Mega Millions. Ira Curry of Georgia and Steve Tran of California both won the December 2013 Mega Millions lottery. Tran called his boss just after he had won, and I think you can guess why. He said, "I don't think I'm going to come in today, tomorrow, or ever." Good for you, Mr. Tran. Jennifer's Gift Shop, where Tran bought several tickets, received $1 million for selling the winner, a perk given in several states. Steve Tran was the 2nd winner of the $648 million Mega Millions jackpot in 2013. Like Curry, he's stayed out of the public eye since his big win, so nobody knows where he ultimately ended up. All we know is that he isn't working at his old job, and probably not working at all. Ira Curry bought her tickets as a last-minute decision and selected a combination of family birthdays and her lucky number 7. Curry went with the lump sum and wound up taking home around $120 million after taxes. Shortly after her big win, Curry and her family of fortuitous birthdays went into hiding, and no one has heard from the multi-millionaire since. Number 5. $590.5 million. The Powerball. In May 2013, Gloria McKenzie in Florida won a jackpot worth about $590 million, at the time making history as the biggest jackpot to be won by only one person. She chose to receive the one-time payment of about $370 million before taxes. And as the sole winner, Mackenzie took home a sizable $278 million after taxes. She decided to spend her money in a big way. Mackenzie bought a seaside mansion worth $1.2 million in Jacksonville, Florida. A big upgrade from her rundown $30,000 rental apartment. Mackenzie also donated a cool $2 million to a Maine high school that needed new roofing. The generous grandmother also pledged to share her winnings with her son, Scott. Since her big purchase and her generous donation, little has been heard from the Mackenzie camp. However, one of her old neighbors had some nice things to say about the lucky lady in an interview with NBC, in which she said, "It couldn't have happened to a nicer person. These people were the biggest winners of all time, and thankfully, it would seem all of them kept their money and are living comfortably." But this isn't always the case. Lisa Arcand won $1 million in the Massachusetts lottery in 2004. She bought a house and went on vacations like many winners. Of course, $1 million really isn't much after taxes. So she also opened a restaurant to make some additional income. Sadly, within a few years, she ran out of money and closed the failing restaurant. In 2007, she said of her lottery experience, "Actually, it's been very depressing." Michael Carroll was a garbage man in England when, at the age of 19, he won 9.7 million euros, about $14.4 million at the time. A mansion, drugs, and gold jewelry ate up that money rather quickly. By 2012, Carroll was broke and living off unemployment checks. Now he works in a slaughterhouse, making just 400 euros a week. And perhaps the most tragic tale of a lottery winner is that of Gerald Muswagon of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Gerald won $10 million in 1998. He bought cars for friends and family and made his house into a real party pad. Eventually, he'd spent all his money, and he took a minimum wage job to support his 6 children and his girlfriend. In 2005, just 7 years after his big win, he took his own life. So, as lucky as the lottery is, it will be what you make of it. And if any one of you ever becomes so lucky, make sure you're wise with your newfound wealth so as not to wind up like one of these tragic cases. I'm sorry to end the video on such a bummer, but when it comes to money, I'd rather show you both the good sides and the bad. I wish you all the best of luck in your lottery endeavors, if you choose to play. Until next time, I'm Mr. Luxury. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Pip pip to doodly doo.